I know I've let you all get used to waiting for a whole month for ASA chapters, but it's past time we change that. Welcome back to Season 3 of the Akaland Slugging Association. This the second of 4 parts covering the events of our biggest and best season yet. I'm not just saying that either. Now that the first episode is behind us, I want you all to know that this one is worth it. It was finishing this season that inspired me to start making these videos, so while I obviously won't spoil what's ahead, I can tell you that if I do it justice, this will be the best season yet by a long shot. Putting the broad dramatics aside, we've got a while to go and a lot of big moments to see before we get to the end. Luckily, for as fun as the off-season was, this video won't be bogged down by an extended prologue like the last one was. Here's your obligatory reminder to watch the rest of the series in the playlist on my channel if you need to catch up or want a refresher. With that out of the way, feel free to pause and review the standings before I finish this sentence and launch us into Week 2. We're gonna start it with a good one too. The Jake Cuevas muscles are off to yet another weird start, and the Spectro Spitballs are a bit confusing too. Their impending throwdown would be a big tone setter for the two teams, both hoping to come out on the fortunate side of this one. Saitama came out the gate quite literally swinging, but both of his attempts were wide right at the foul line. Instead, he settled for a nice single over Ritter's head. Yellow Mage and Willow followed suit, and starred Captain Wario didn't plan on letting it go to waste.
Here's Wario, who's not going to charge at all. He is starred.
1-3.
He's going to star. And this should bring home 2. And it will. And Leo misses the dive, it's gonna... Did they get her? They might have gotten her. Oh, it's going to be a close play. It's going to be a 3 RBI single off the star hit from Wario.
A critical error by MK Leo. Red Mage tried to compensate with a leaping double play, but even getting the stop with no more runs allowed was a thin silver lining on a poor defensive display. Walu's slap was a bit too strong on the other end, but Darkbones shot a laser of a line drive for the first Spitballs hit. Putting aside the memory of his defensive lapse, Leo came up big, trusting in Red Toad to load the bases for Ritter.
Red Toad could set up a chance for the reigning MVP to work his magic. I believe he homered once this season. Okay, there's gonna be a shot. He's gonna go for a slap. What is he doing? Oh, it's a star hit. Actually, a genius play. It's gonna bring home 2.
A veteran play by the reigning MVP. It paid off immediately too, as Red Mage roped one to left for a sac fly to tie up the game without taking any unnecessary risks. Tragically, Firebro made a mistake on the item cannon.
The dive, but they bananaed Red Critter!
So the Spitballs would have to wait for a chance to take the lead. Naturally, the first step in that process would have to be stopping the muscles, which started well as Ritter sent Koopa packing. Back-to-back hits for runners on the corners was hardly what they were hoping for though, and the Goom Bomb represented a lead as All-Star Yellow Mage stepped up.
Does Paragoomba have any strikeouts on his career? Well, he won't either way. As they're going to turn a double play, yes they will, and they save the run from crossing.
Despite the big stop, the Spitballs didn't carry that same fire over to the offensive side. Firebro settled for a nice but underwhelming single, immediately erased by a double play as Willow willowed all over the place. Despite a Waluigi base hit, Darkbones just didn't have enough juice to get one out over Kareem and Koopa, so we were still tied at 3. It seemed like fate too, as Rhodes' best efforts came just shy of scoring another, and Ritter looked a bit off.
I think he was just a bit too short.
What is Critter doing? Is he good?
Nothing.
Oh, he's homering. That's what he's doing. There goes the MVP.
Oh, that's gone. He was waiting.
Let that be a lesson to never doubt the MVP. Spitballs on top. The Muscles tried to go an eye for an eye yet again, but K-Rool leading the inning off meant he could only account for 1 of the 2 runs. The supporting cast, meanwhile, accounted for none. The Spitballs weren't satisfied with that, though. To go back to the previous metaphor, they were hungry for more eyes.
This one's tanked by Firebro. He is starred. It might be too high to grab.
Oh, does he get that?
No!
No, it's dropped a little bit.
Despite that excellent save, a soft Paragoomba charge and a deep Walu slap put runners on second and third, both of which scored as Darkbones delivered a star hit to right. With that shot of momentum, Wario stepped off the mound, which the Muscles hoped would turn things around. It didn't though, as a Fireball-esque slapping run scored 1 more to raise the lead to 4. Despite the Muscles' best efforts, Spectro's Spitballs quickly began to run away with this one, entering the top of the 7th with a 5-run cushion. Only 3 outs between them and victory.
It'll have to start with Kareem, who's done it before. Okay.
He has.
The offensive role players, by that I mean not the big three hitters, have been doing quite a good job for the Muscles. They've all been reaching base fairly consistently, except for Yellow Madge, who's having a struggle game, but that's okay. Hang on, 2 on base, no outs.
Ooh. Boom bomb?
There is a chance. There is a chance.
No.
Muscles fans everywhere are holding their breath right now. Spitballs fans are crying. They're ready to break the TV.
Oh, Saitama! Saitama!
He's gonna charge.
Of course.
Crushes this one out to left. It'll be caught. Kareem's not gonna head home.
Oh.
Alright, Yellow Madge has a shot. And we know what happens when Yellow Madge has a shot. Waluigi's unloading the clip.
Safety.
Okay, that's one.
Oh, beautiful flop.
Now if they can get through Willow, the Spitballs might be in danger. Oh no.
Oh, beautiful flop.
Not like this.
Slam. No, the boo. Willow on 2.
Not like this. They're stealing home. Wario will bunt.
Oh.
Madge is gonna reach.
Oh, that's a beautiful bunt.
A base hit from Critter will tie the game. Good star pitch. It's crushed out to left field. Red Toad's not gonna get there. It's a tie game. There's an error. They're gonna get him. That's the game. Oh wait, no, that's not the game. Sorry, they're gonna force. That is not the game.
That's a tie.
A heroic comeback effort by the Muscles, but they'd need to hold on defense to force extras.
Starred Fire Bro is a chance to walk it off.
It may be over.
Not that. Don't give him that pitch. That's gone. That's the game. Good night.
That's gone.
Good night and goodbye. Fire Bro's gonna walk it off.
A quite literally show-stopping performance by Firebro, who was beginning to put together an MVP caliber season. Speaking of MVP caliber, let's turn to current fringe candidate Petey Piranha and the Flowers. Our opponent in this game was set to be, well, a departure from the MVP caliber conversations. That said, it was officially the Groki revenge game after being flipped for a benchwarmer and Green Shy Guy, and she came out with nothing to prove. The rest of the night's attempts went by about as you'd expect, which meant we were still scoreless going into the bottom of the inning. The Flowers, meanwhile, led off with 3 base hits, though Daisy got caught being indecisive and cost the team 1 out. For as much as I was hyping him up coming into this one, Petey made the weird decision to slap here, which didn't quite work out. Blooper couldn't remedy the situation, and despite 2 very different starts, both teams were still tied at 0. Starred Red Koopa, known colloquially as Koopa the Killer, deftly placed a slap past Petey's dive range, and the night's only above-average offensive player stepped up to bat.
It's just like really hard to get into.
The Toad verse.
Oh
my
no.
goodness, Gray Bones. That might be gone.
Hilariously, the next 3 batters all failed to reach base, meaning the Knights' only 2 base hits through 2 innings had both scored. With Hammer Bro due up, they looked to hang on to the early upset bid. Coach Gerald and company may have been too focused on Whammer to properly prepare for the batters at the plate though, as Link and GDB reached the corners with relative ease.
Whammer, we know we know he can get like a go-ahead home run here. Like it
Yeah, I know.
so
It's
easy.
Whammer Bro. Okay, well, Whammer Bro decided
whoa,
not
whoa.
to Whammer the Bro.
Still a run.
Still no homers on the season for the guy, but we'll take an RBI single. I imagine Green Toad immediately powing Hammer Bro when it was completely unnecessary didn't help with whatever kind of funk he was in, but the top of the lineup came through for 3 more consecutive RBI singles into Petey, seizing the lead with a chance for more.
Just a lot of bloop shots until it actually works.
Uh-oh.
Just like that.
Ooh, that's gonna be another run.
Ooh, and the
Man,
buddy bounce off
runners-
the arrow. Interesting.
Runners on my
interesting.
corners again.
Now firmly in the lead, even Blooper hitting into a double wasn't really a concern. Green Madge's attempt to cut into that lead almost was, but the outfielders got there just in time. Petey had no trouble closing out the inning, and the Knights still hadn't downed a hit since the Gray Bones homer. Speaking of home runs, GDB was sick of waiting for Whammer to wake up and tried his hand. While he didn't quite succeed, it's hard to imagine the guy next up didn't take the message.
Whammer the Hammer Bro.
Wow.
Whammer the Fowler Bro. That is in a window of an apartment. Oh, that's gonna be right over the wall.
Wow.
A sigh of relief from the dugout as my Flowers witnessed the end of the drought. Hammerbro had finally drilled his first shot over the wall in week 2 of season 3, and we were perfectly content with no more.
Made up for that last hit, which wasn't even bad.
Oh my goodness,
Deuce.
I am gonna get there! I am him!
Well, way to steal the spotlight. Okay, well, I suppose I shouldn't be complaining about 2 players homering for the first time this season. If anything, I should be grateful we even got that. Oh,
What's she gonna do?
Ooh,
Oh my
my
God.
god. Is that another home run?
It's not. It's
Does
not.
Rupa get there?
What?
They just don't go for it.
They didn't try.
Somehow, the one they did manage to grab was Petey's Skyball, which just felt personal. That said, if you happen to place any money on the Knights not reaching their fourth batter yet again, you might want to collect that payout. With that, let's check back in on the Knights' defense.
And that
And there's another Hammer Bro home run. Casually.
Yeah. that is wow.
Okay, surely Deuce won't steal the spotlight this time.
We may give the Knights a lot of trash, but at least they do have 3 pitching options, which some teams, such as my own, do not have. Am I getting another home run?
Did you get another home run? Oh my god.
I did!
This is unprecedented.
With a casual 2-15 score in the bottom of the fifth, Hammer Bro had a chance to answer back.
Whammer bro up the bat.
It is gone. Guaranteed gone. That is his 3rd double home run of the night.
So they're losing by 15.
His teammate, and for this game rival, finally conceded the arms race here, settling for a slap. Now that you all see where this is going, let's fast forward to the end, where the Flowers celebrated a 19-3 victory in Whammer's Awakening. Now let's have a game which should go more like our first than whatever that was. This time around, 2 2-1 teams were set to clash as the Fireballs entered Y-Guy's pick of Nighttime Stadium. You guys seemed to like this in the last episode, so I'll let my past self do some explaining about what makes this game so significant.
Hello. This is one of my most anticipated games of the week, honestly, because I truly don't know who will win here.
This is game of the week in my opinion. This is the biggest game of the week because this is between.
For sure.
Ooh. It's either this or the game that'll follow this one, which is going to be AJ versus Deuce. But I think this one is going to be more intense because it's a true test of the Bows. Are they for real this season? We don't know. We're gonna see here.
Things get a little bit weird here, though. The footage you just watched is from a lost version of the game, which we had to reset because of an error I noticed in Murphy's fielding. Obviously, Murphy took his opportunity to reset the game, but in the interest of fairness, I didn't want a complete wipe. Here's Akamos once again to explain the compromise we reached.
There's a bit of a situation here. I'm joined by Deuce. I'll explain it in just a moment. I've made a terrible mistake.
I am here.
So I will explain. We actually started this game already once, and the Bows actually started off with a grand slam from Berto in the first inning. They actually ended up being 8-2 before we realized that the Fireball's fielding was not input correctly, so we did have to restart. Unfortunately, we are granting the Bows 2 runs to start off though. Boo hit a home run in the game, so we're counting the home run towards Boo. We're also crediting Berto with a solo home run. So they will start with 2 runs. However, we do have to restart.
Good slide and throw by BP.
Yeah. Regardless, it's a sucky situation. It's entirely my fault. We're just going to play it out. Pretend that the Bows have 2 runs. So add 2 runs to their run count, whatever it may be at any point in time.
As you can see, the Bows scored first here anyway, proceeding to load up the bases with no outs in much the same way they did before. Instead of a Grandy though, they turned to Blue Toad, whose charge forced an extremely common Red Yoshi bobble to allow 2 runs to pass. Just like before, a Blitter sack fly made it 6-0, but this time the Fireballs would have the proper defensive tools.
So we're essentially just back where we were before. Which is good. That's the best case scenario here.
A Red Yoshi double did not bode well for their offense though, and while Mario and BP kicked off a 2-out rally, the Maverick couldn't turn it into anything substantial. If you were skeptical about the value of resetting to make a defense work properly, let the next 2 innings of absolute lockdown fielding be the evidence. Despite being down 6-0, the Fireballs were absolutely not out of reasonable range to make this a game. Leading off with singles from BP, the Maverick, and even Peach to load the bases was a good sign too, though Toadette was up next with the weight of the team on her shoulders.
Toadette, I think most improved player. And showing why right there. That's a 2 RBI single.
2 RBI.
2 RBI double, sorry. My mistake, 2 RBI double. I'm sorry, Toadette, I was not familiar with your game.
After that, Toadsworth.
Which is uncharacteristic of the Fireballs, as this is going to be a sack fly. Is it even? No, it's just going to be an RBI single. That's the weirdest RBI single.
RP followed up by loading the bases once more, but Murphy hit into a double play. Still, Red Yoshi managed to bring Toadette home to tie up the score, meaning in actuality that they still trailed by 2. That didn't last long though, as Mario rolled one into the outfield to make up those 2 runs with the help of a Boo. Tie game. But why stop there? Despite BP's underwhelming start to the season, he proved that he still had the skill to lead this team, scoring the captain to put the Fireballs on top. Peach finally gave up that last out, but pressure was on the bows for the first time.
Plus, this is definitely part of the lineup that is more strong.
Yu Narukami tanks this one. It's gonna be out of here?
You Persona.
Yu ties up the game again.
Coach slow.
There's his first career homer. It gets out of there. Yu Narukami.
With the game already this weird, it only makes sense that the scoring would suddenly end here. Because both defenses decided this was when they wanted to try, and the game had no clue about the prior reset, things technically ended after the top of the 7th because the Fireballs appeared to have won. Because of that, we had to manually set up a second one-inning game to serve as the bottom of the 7th, which is maybe the most hassle I've ever gone through for one regular season game. Furthermore, to get it to actually work right, we had to get the Bows to go scoreless in the top of the inning so Murphy would have a chance to walk it off like he would in a real game. With all that done though, we can finally resume baseball as usual. The Bows did allow 2 runners to reach, but a gritty catch by Dixie secured extras. With runners on the corners and only 1 out, YP had a chance to make a statement.
He's gonna watch that one. Smart decision. Oh, they throw home! And they get the double! What? Why did Boo keep going?
My good.
What a questionable play from Boo. They had potentially the game right there.
But that's okay, because some solid defense would still secure another chance. Blitter put on an absolute clinic, only allowing an RP hit he couldn't really do anything about. Red Yoshi made the smart call to hit towards KB's side of the field, and Mario had a chance to end it.
That's a strike.
Could see a walk-off from Mario.
Wonderful pitching from Boo here.
He's charging.
They're running!
Oh, he's swinging. I think that might be gone.
Oh!
It's gone!
It's a walk-off 3-run homer for Mario. That is a dagger to the hearts of the Bows. That's so tragic. They had such a good game, but the Fireballs will win it. That's actually 10-7. 10-7. Correct that. And it will be Mario claiming the MVP.
That's why he's the frontrunner. Next, a more conventional clash between 2 top 3 teams in the league as the Wilds and Rookies ran back their Season 2 semifinal matchup. In fact, a runback is the perfect way to put it. Everything about these 2 teams was the exact same, minus switching Falcon and Big Fella out for Madeline and Fair respectively. Oh, also the fact that the reigning champion Wilds were technically the underdog this time around. The Rookies took the first stab at it. Despite Grey Guy and Ordeal's lack of contribution, Junior getting on base meant at least 1 runner for Bowser.
As Diddy moves back to the outside, can't throw him that. It just goes foul! It was too high to hit the pole, unfortunately, and Bowser's going to be forced to slap. That's tragic if you're a Rookies fan. Though Bowser Jr. looking to score? No, he's going to come back to third base here. Smart decision, too.
Still a double, but with Madge's poorly placed star hit and an impressive tiny catch, that Bowser hit was a huge missed opportunity. Fortunately for the Rookies, their defense made sure they didn't feel the loss too badly. In fact, I'll confirm that just like Game 1 of the series between these 2 last season, this is one of those games. One with pretty much no offense at all, in which both defenses just casually take care of business into the late game. In the 5th, the Rookies took advantage of the same setup they saw in the 1st to put runners on the corners this time, and the Wilds were in a tough spot.
But just not able to convert so far. Finally, though, they'll drive in a run? No, they won't! The POW hits Bowser! If they hadn't POW'd, they would have scored a run. Real missed the dive, but Brown Critter wakes up just in time to make the play.
Hugh immediately tried to capitalize on the Rookies' implosion, but Monty arrived just in time to avoid interrupting the scoreboard operator's 20-minute nap. Bowser unloaded the clip, forcing Funky to pre-charge with 2 strikes into a poor hit. It took Diddy Kong and Real 2 unlikely sources to open up the Wilds' offense. Now to Britter.
Just get one down into the gap, that'll score. No, this one's going to be another pop fly out to the far center. Monty's going to act as a human shield for Grey Guy here.
Scoreless into the 6th is absurd, but it seems like that's just the reality we're dealing with. Tiny Kong was the one to shut down the Rookies yet again, putting on what was arguably her best defensive performance ever in one of the biggest defensive showdowns in league history. Despite Fair's efforts, Bowser's forced pre-charge claimed yet another victim, as DK couldn't put the kind of velocity behind his swing needed to escape the outfield. With that, it was time for Tiny Kong once more.
Tiny's gonna pre-charge as well. This one? will get down because of the boo. Fair is going to actually make it to second. She almost didn't.
The Wild's three ladies continue to put the team on their backs, loading the bases with a chance to finally erase one of those goose eggs from the scoreboard.
Just do not double play whatever you do. That is the name of the game right now. And he doesn't. That's going to be a run for the Wilds. Hugh Mann with the first RBI of the entire game. That could be a game winner right there. As Funky's going to crush this one out into the gap. That'll score 2 more. Potentially 3 more. Is Hugh going to go? No, he'll stop. It will be 3-0 Wilds after that one.
Even with Diddy Kong getting doubled off, those 3 runs would be more than challenging to respond to in this kind of defensive climate. I really couldn't tell you why 2 of the most explosive offensive teams in the league went from 24-19 in their first ever matchup to 3 straight defensive battles, but the Wilds improved their record against Bowser teams to a lifetime 4-0. After 4 games, let's take a look at the standings. 3 of the big 4 held on to top 3 spots as the Flowers surged up to number 1 for the second time in franchise history. The Rookies, Spitballs, and Bows were all 500 a third of the way into the season, with plenty of time left to determine which of them were real contenders. The Muscles, however, were slipping pretty far, while the Knights, you can see for yourself, it's not pretty. Speaking of there being plenty of time left, let's hop back into Week 2, this time beginning with a clash between 2 teams desperately trying to figure out their identities. That's right, the Rookies are already back on screen looking for a bounce back after being shut out and losing the number 1 spot. The Spitballs, meanwhile, were hoping to continue in the vein of their walk-off victory over the Muscles, albeit ideally without the almost choking the game away part. A hilarious double play set the tone for the Rookies' first showing, while Darkbones got up to equally unusual shenanigans during his plate appearance.
I pity the fool, but Darkbones is going for a bunt here, and he just keeps not hitting it. Like he's faking them out. Okay, now he's
like a bat.
Yeah, he will no longer actually... Wow, that was a good watch from Bones. He's charging for this one.
Ooh!
Darkbones is going to homer for the first time of the season. Good for him. He's so overdue. Off the single from
and 3 balls later.
3 successful slap hits later, the Spitballs were in a rhythm. Ritter didn't even risk swinging for the fences, instead placing a precise arrow shot double to score 2 more. Madge and Millennia continued the success, and things were getting out of hand for the Rookies. Let's check in with Firebro to see what he thinks of the situation.
They're having the fireball way right now.
They are, actually. Here's Firebro. He might change that, and he will. That's going to be a 3... that's a 3-run homer. They're not even close to getting that.
That's... wow.
An 8-run inning with no outs. The Rookies finally started to play defense, so even though Darkbones had the chance to go for 2 in 1 inning, it didn't quite pan out as he'd hoped. He got the Rookies right back though, snagging Bowser's attempt at a solo shot response. A bit of item luck still wasn't enough to stop Ritter from closing out another scoreless inning, meaning the Spitballs were primed to continue their dominant opening.
The Rookies are batting, I think... What is that? That's not pretty, whatever it is. Let me do the math. They're 2 for 7. That's a low number. Oh, this one? It's far enough left. Is it staying fair?
High.
Is it staying fair? Oh, it is. Oh, it's like really staying fair. Like it's
barely.
I thought it was going to be out of the park, but okay. Well, that's the weirdest single of all time for Red Critter.
I thought so too.
And bases will be loaded for Millennia. Yeah, the Spitballs so far are running away from this game. Running away with this game. They're running away from the game. Sorry.
No, I'm terrified.
The Spitballs are running away from this game. Yeah, Bowser, bases are loaded. He's not messing with this.
Look at Bowser. He's so scary.
There's a strikeout for Bowser.
Strike out.
In the wise words of the great philosopher Swift, though, Band-Aids don't fix bullet bills, and Firebro's RBI single led into a Paragoomba sac fly to seize a 10-0 lead in the second inning.
No, he's gonna get in!
Yep.
Walu and Darkbones each accounted for 1 more before the inning ended, and Bowser would need a baker's dozen of solo homers to make up for this one. A BDB single is the right way to start, though.
But it's not looking good.
Yeah, and we have seen
Boomerang Bro's gonna crush a piss missile and put a quick 2 on the board.
Wow, alright.
Despite reducing the lead to 10 runs, the Rookies didn't manage much more than that. They did hold the Spitballs off and score 2 more off of a Bowser bomb in the 4th, but they'd need more effort from the role players to stand a chance. They found some as Madeline homered for the first time in her young career, but I think you get the picture. The Spitballs relaxed, knowing they didn't have much to worry about unless...
Junior? He's going to star! Wait, what? How did she break through that? And how did... What? I need to see this replay. I just looked up and I saw Millennia walking through it. I guess we don't get to see it. What happened? She bobbled it anyways, but...
Well, even that would have been fine if not for what came right after. With Bowser looming, they decided to switch pitchers. Instead of taking the safe option and going for Millennia though, they brought in MK Leo, completely ruining their outfield. Luckily, the big scary guy with the spiked bat settled for an RBI single, but another of the same from Madge meant 9 unanswered for the rookies. At this point, both teams went quiet offensively, but with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, the Spitballs needed something to fluff up the lead a bit.
And Boomerang Bro almost makes the grab, but doesn't. Ordeal and Grey Guy are going to track this one down. They're finally switching Bowser out. I think it's Magikoopa. Ordeal?
Ordeal.
They're not putting in Madge. Both teams just agreed, I guess, to put in their Miis. And Bowser's in right field, by the way. They're just putting their fielders in. Ordeal's pitching.
You send any ball to the right, like, it's not getting caught.
The Spitballs have finally scored again. There's no chem there, so they can't do a buddy bounce.
1 is fine if you're the rookies, but you can't afford to get out of Grandy range. Luckily, Darkbones popped one right up to Monty for an easy grab.
This one's out to Monty, who's gonna make... No, Monty!
Wow.
He's selling the bag!
Leo and Road didn't let the opportunity go to waste, extending the lead back up to 7 before the inning ended. Despite a Madge star hit and an additional RBI from Boomerang Bro, the rookies had just run out of gas. A big win for the Spitballs and game MVP, Darkbones. Back over in the MRC, a classic rivalry was brewing. Wilds versus Flowers. The two commissioners' teams had thrown down many a time before, and this game was set to be just as impactful as its previous iterations. The winner would guarantee a top 2 spot going into Week 3, while the loser risked falling as low as 5. As with many recent games, the Flowers' first 2 quickly reached base, just for Wiggler to sell the bag. Still on his cold streak, Petey failed to put his usual strength behind his swing, and Teal somehow caught Blooper's charge hit. The Wilds, meanwhile, only put 1 of their first 2 on, but Britter posed a much greater threat than the likes of Wiggler.
Alright, we got Brown Critter.
And that's gone. It's just gone.
In what was beginning to seem like an epidemic, the Wilds also palled their own base runner when they didn't even need one to begin with, coming up empty-handed. The almost offense continued with a near wham slam in the second, but Teal had other ideas. Even though Deuce and Green Toad still loaded the bases, Britter effortlessly made the stop, as it began to look like the Wilds would be locked in yet another low-scoring duel. That is, until DK's rocket up the middle seemingly discouraged the Flowers outfielders from even trying to catch it. Despite no more scores, they wouldn't complain about a 1-0 lead. Now trailing, Wiggler decided it was time to actually do his job for once. With step 1 of the Wig-Pete combo complete, we only needed the second.
I hope Peter gets a home run.
He might do that. Maybe?
Is it? Oh yeah, nice.
Unlike the Wilds though, we didn't settle for just 1 offensive surge. 3 at-bats later, GDB was looking at runners on the corners, still with a clean slate in terms of outs.
Rot, right? Like he has an infection. It's pretty disgusting.
Someone just left him out.
Oh, who just got a 3-run home run? Here we go.
And-
Ooh,
And bye-bye.
that's so sick.
Just like that, an early 5-run lead. To make matters even crazier, the next 3 also came through. The entire lineup had now batted, and the Wilds didn't manage to snag a single out along the way. With another Wiggler slap, that tally continued to rise. You know what that means.
Well, to keep bases loaded for Peter. And Peter
Right.
says, "I'm horrible at this game. Actually, I'm
my
worse.
God.
I'm worse than Wiggler."
With the Flowers' momentum all but killed by that mistake, the Wilds had no issue escaping the inning as DK unloaded the clip. Still, it'd take a lot more than some barrels to make up this gap. Diddy Kong and Rio reaching the corners was a good start though.
I don't even know how he did that, bro. Peter's a tank. He should have just like mogged him, bro. Oh, I think he's just stupid. What happened to Green Toad, bro?
As we've seen before, switching Daisyin can be a bit of a defensive liability. With a solid 4-run lead still persisting, we'll just have to see how this one pans out.
Donkey Kong isn't a boxing glove. Anyway, it's a home run. Traitor. Terrible pitch.
Bro, Why they always do this to the flowers? It's always the flowers. It has only been the flowers. And that's a grand slam. And that's a grand slam. It's gone. And that's a grand slam. Literally bottom one luck. I don't want to hear a thing from this. Oh my god. That was just absurd.
Oh my god.
The inning couldn't even do me the mercy of ending after that one either. Yeah, there was no coming back from that. It didn't even look like the Flowers wanted to play after that, and I can't blame them. The Wilds had completely broken our spirits and didn't even have to score another run to secure a 10-8 victory. Next up, Murphy's bid for redemption. Last season, his was the only team to drop a game to the daycare lineup, and this season's Knights putting their captain's own brother at the helm added insult to injury. On the other side of things, Cyber once again set out in search of his first victory on the season. The first inning went by with nothing doing on either side. The Knights' offense effortlessly smoked despite yet another Red Yoshi bobble. The Fireballs, on the other hand, took a bit more work to handle, the Knights' actually decent defense showing up just in time to avoid going down early. Unfortunately for them, they were not rewarded for their efforts, as the top of the second went just about the same as always. Red Yoshi surprisingly managed to open up the Fireballs' offense, while Mario yet again terrorized the outfielders to put 2 in scoring position. BP didn't let the opportunity pass him by, bringing in the first run of the contest. The Maverick made it loaded bases, and Peach got a bit of help from Abu to bring in 2 more. It should come as no surprise that the Fireballs only seemed to pick up more steam as the run went on, loading up the bases yet again to Murphy. A star and Abu made it 6 on the inning, as the one who started the run stepped back up to the plate. Still, you know just as well as I do that the Knights don't have the kind of firepower needed to answer that challenge. Luigi did get his moral victory, striking his brother out on 3 pitches in the third, but that one run was enough to handle business, as the Fireballs claimed a 6-0 shutout win. I hope you all like Playroom because we're going right back for the Bows and Muscles. Yet another big deciding game for both teams, so you could safely expect both to bring their A game for this one. Is what I would say. Forgive me for speeding through this one, but trust me when I say you don't want to watch unless you're a Muscles fan, and even then it's kinda boring. The first runs of the game scored off of a 2-run Wario homer in the bottom of the third. Critter followed that up with another, and K-Rool...
All of their runs are off of home runs, which you wouldn't... Oh my lord. That is crushed. They're not getting that. That's 3 back-to-back-to-back home runs.
Great. Yeah.
Birdo and YP cut the lead to 2 toward the end of the game, but the Muscles took that personally. One-upping their own previous streak, Yellow Maj kicked off with the first of 4 consecutive home runs, as Willow, Wario, and Critter helped to close it out. The last 2 innings went quiet, and at this point the Bows really just couldn't seem to land on a team identity. Again though, if you're a Muscles fan, you might consider heading over to my second channel to catch the full VOD, what Jake was hoping would be a return to form. I know I usually just do a standings update between sets of games, but I say it's time we take a step back and consider the broader scope of what's going on right now, including award races and those advanced stats I mentioned at the beginning of last video. To kick things off, let's keep it simple with that traditional standings update. The Fireballs are back on top, tying with the Wilds at 4-1 but leading by 4 runs. Losing to the Wilds in what was ultimately a respectably close game meant my Flowers fell to 3rd, while the Spitballs' victory over the Rookies pushed them just over 500, and back into the elite company they were expected to join before the season kicked off. Despite some hiccups, the Rookies and Bows were still on track to make postseason appearances, while the Muscles had a bit of ground to make up, and the Knights were already almost eliminated. Now some stat leaders. I'll begin with the major categories, then go through a lightning round of some smaller ones. First, RBI count. Unsurprisingly, the top 2 MVP candidates in Firebro and Mario led the category with 16 apiece. The reigning MVP in Ritter rounded out the top 3, while PD came in 4th. Batting average is the single stat that really blew my mind to record. 14 players maintain an average of at least 667 to this point, meaning they reached base 2 out of every 3 at-bats. This doesn't even consider hits aided by errors or items. These numbers are fully legitimate. Somehow, Greybones put the Knights on top of a positive category here, leading the pack as the only player clocking it at 800. As for home runs, Firebro once again held the top spot with 6 in 5 games. Tied right behind him were the Muscles' reptilian duo of Critter and K-Rool, each of which were averaging 1 per game. The real standout here, and you'll have to forgive my bias, is Hammerbro, who wasn't even on the board in this category until hitting 4 in the last 2 games. When it came to double plays turned, the Spitballs dynamic duo yet again claimed 2 of the top 3, this time only matched by Brown Critter of the Wilds. Here I'll highlight Real with 6.5 turned, which will be really funny in a minute here. For our last major stat, let's take a look at game MVPs. The reigning finals MVP had already managed to record 3 in only 5 games, while Mario, PD, Firebro, and Blue Pianta all notched 2 each. Lightning round time. Just like double plays turn, Real also appears on the list of double plays hit, and this time he's at the top. If you've been paying close attention, you're probably not surprised to see Red Yoshi leading the pack in errors, though Ritter and Red Toad followed close behind. Bowser was the only character to reach 3 strikeouts this early on, fellow BFC captains Mario and Wario following with 2 each. As for earned runs, Peach held the dubious honor of leading the pack here. Birdo and Green Para slotted in at 2nd and 3rd. Now award races. I won't waste your time running through every last detail of all of these, but they are in the ASA Discord server, where you can also find myself and the other GMs if you have any questions. Firebro now sat atop the MVP ladder, narrowly beating out Mario in what was beginning to look like a 2-man race. Despite his early struggles, Hammerbro was beginning to turn it around, being a dominant infielder and big offensive contributor for one of the league's best teams. Boomerang Bro, Brown Critter, and PD rounded out the top 6. The OPOI race looked just about the same, only replacing Brown Critter with Wario in the last spot. On the DPOI side, PD actually claimed the top spot despite not leading any major defensive categories. This was largely due to his versatility and athleticism, starting some games at pitcher and making some of the best jumping and diving plays we've ever seen. Ritter and Firebro follow close behind, mostly because of their impressive counting stats. Here are the other major award races. Feel free to pause and take a look. Once you've had your fill, we'll move on to the midpoint of the season, Week 3. We left off with the Bows in a tough spot, putting up a poor showing against the Muscles and stagnating as the 6th seed. This next game against the Knights would be their best chance to bolster the old season resume, while Cyber was hopeful that Y-Guy's choice of Daytime Cruiser would be neutral enough to help his team stave off the looming shadow of early elimination. They actually came out of the gate pretty well, holding the Bows to nothing in the first behind an impressive outfield performance. Doing the whole stat roundup just now reminded me that I didn't record any of the worst in the league through 5 games. Luckily, you can watch for yourself how the only player in the league who had played multiple games without a single base hit fared against Birdo. Gangsta and Koopa the Killer didn't do much better, so the Bows were back up. Boo and KB struggled, but the first half of Slap City pulled through. Now for Blue Toad, who was hoping to build something off of the bad start.
The Magic Cash on left. Whoa! And they're not gonna get that! That's a 2-run homer from Blue Toad!
Blitter, who was supposed to be the power hitter, tried to make it 2 in a row, but yet again couldn't quite manage to put it over the walls. Hilariously, Green Para almost launched a homer off of bad contact, but it fell just short. Luigi reached 2, but Larry sort of blew it and the Knights came up empty again. Where most teams would have just pulled away, the Bows continued to confuse in the 4th. With runners on the corners and a 3-0 count, Blitter decided to swing, yet again dropping 1 short and rendering the team scoreless on the inning. Green Para tried once again to punish Birdo and company for letting them hang around in this one, but Dixie managed to snag it. Luckily for any fans of Y-Guy's group, who I know exists, the final innings brought the breakaway which had eluded them for most of the game. After dropping 4 in the 6th and 1 for good measure in the 7th, the Bows secured an 8-0 win. Next, another wrestling match in the bottom half of the standings as AJ's rookies took on the Jake Cuevas Muscles. The rookies, though somewhat fallen from their early grace, were still a force to be reckoned with for the improving Muscles, who were hoping to have a middle and end of the season similar to what they experienced in Season 2. Before they could blink though, the rookies put 2 on base into Junior and the big guy.
Could look to load the bases. Instead, he's going to double off, triple off? Ordeal got back. Ordeal just barely got back. If she is any slower, look at that reaction time from Ordeal. She turned on a dime.
My goat.
That is my goat, Ordeal. I missed Season 1 Ordeal. She was special. Maybe we'll get back to that someday. Season 1 Kareem came back. He's been playing really well this season. Bowser tanks this one. They're not getting there, are they? That's too high.
Yeah,
he jumps through the hat. Goodbye, Koopa the Quick.
A bit unconventional, but still an early lead. They even forced the Muscles to go 3 up and 3 down to boot. Striking quickly yet again was BDB, reaching first to give Boomerang Bro a chance at a bigger lead.
I think we can't. Arrow shot there from BDB and a bobble from Goomba. That's an arrow shot into a bobble. BDB's gonna make it home, and Boomerang Bro's gonna get a double out of the deal.
I thought that arrow shot was gonna be horrible.
Yeah, I don't know why it bounced so delicately off of the arrow. It should have gone flying. But then Goomba bobbled it anyways, so maybe he was expecting it to be harsher too. He was surprised that it went nowhere.
Critter made a play to tag Boomerang Bro out before he had a chance to score, but Gregai blasted one to left to put Monty on third. Ordeal continued her solid performance by driving in one more before the muscles finally woke up, this time giving Ordeal no chance to react to Junior's mistake. Side note, I've seen you guys loving Gregai in the comments, so here's a bit of lore from the man who coined the "he's so gray" catchphrase.
Poor Greg guy. Is that his actual name? Is he Greg?
Yeah. Yeah.
Greg guy, but he's also so gray, so we call him Gray guy.
Yeah. Like, if you ever met him in person, like, you'll know that he isn't the biggest fan of being called Gray Guy. His name is Greg Guy. But, like, he's gonna let it slide because it's a pretty good show name.
Yeah, okay, so, but like, if you know him personally, then he's cool. Like, he prefers you to call him Greg.
Yeah.
Huh, I actually didn't know that about him. This one's gonna be a home run. No, barely foul. Ooh.
Wow. Unlucky.
Okay, we'll see, but we'll see if we can get this one. They're gonna run there. Are they there in time? No, it's gonna be over the head.
After that saga, the rookies still led by 3. As much as I want to tear myself away from this live commentary and get a move on though, I feel like I have to include this.
And is that an arrow shot? No, it's not. It's just past the arrow. Monty's going to run into the bomb.
It's just no, Greg!
Greg!
No!
Greg, get out of the way! Grenade!
Now let's get back to business. We'll skip an empty inning to reach the top of the 4th, where this miraculous Bowser Jr. hit became an ever-rare triple to end the captain's cold streak. In an attempt to score him though, Bowser didn't quite manage to escape Koopa the Quick. The Death lineup saw an opening here, and so they took it. Wario reached for Critter, who with the help of a friendly manhole put one out over Gray Guy. None of the muscles' next 3 were able to do any damage, but they were breathing down the rookies' necks for the first time since 0-0. Madge tried to change this, but a heroic effort from Koopa and the Goom Bomb prevented him from doing so. Still, BDB and Boomerang Bro had a bit of magic up their sleeves. This one quite poetically slammed into the green light of the traffic light on the right side, perhaps in an effort to taunt the muscles as AJ's team yet again pulled away. Saitama didn't take too kindly to that though, going for a double and nearly making it 3. With a star and a boo, Yellow Madge snuck one past Monty and drove a run in. With a chance to tie, Willow stepped up.
Don't care. Willow. No, 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 Willow, 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 Willow. Willow, no! Willow! Wario's not gonna look to charge here, is he? It's a changeup! And it will advance Magic. Greg Eye!
Greg!
Greg, no! Greg!
Greg!
So Greg allows a run because of the error. That's so tragic. Critter has a chance to take the lead.
No. Don't let him do it.
He's swinging. Greg is chasing the ball down. It's going to stay in the park. Greg dodges the shell. Wario's on third. K-Rool will be up.
That was somewhat redeeming for Greg.
This is a big at-bat.
No.
Big at-bat.
No. Bowser. Oh wait, no, Bowser doesn't even have 3 stars. He can't even gamble it.
This one's tanked out. Ordeal doesn't get under it. It's going to be a tie game. These two teams have been so even. Boomerang Bro's not going to get it. And Ordeal gets hit by the fire.
Oh my god.
K-Rool's headed home. Does he make it? He does not.
And just like that, the rookies surrendered their lead, their misfortune stemming from that terribly costly bobble in the outfield. After a silent 6, they took loaded bases for the rookies to finally bring one in and tie the game back up. Just when things were looking up though, Saitama doubled Monty off to put a halt to any momentum. Bottom of the 7th with a chance for the muscles to walk it off. You need to get Willow though. You can't allow her on base and then have to get every single one of the danger lineup. And she's going to do just that. She's gonna get a double here.
Oh.
That's really bad.
This has been a double city.
That's really bad. Wario can even star here and it guarantees the win. If Wario stars, the game is over. Bowser can strike him out if he uses another one. You need to do that if you're Bowser.
Bowser really needs to play this one smart.
So smart from Bowser. That is perfect play. That could save the game from Bowser. A little bit of a pop-off there.
Last game he was playing
He's
pretty
using
dumb.
another.
I think he was saving up his brain power for this game.
Critter's going for his star hit. Now he's pre-charging. He's going to take another strike. Bowser clutching up right now. Critter's going to be forced to slap. It gets down. Monty, do you get there in time? You do. Okay, now you have to hold K. Rool. No base hits allowed or the game is over. Bowser's tired. You got to keep him in, though.
Uh-oh. What can Bowser do? Oh!
That's going to end the game.
No.
Wait, no! No! No!
What?
Willow
What?
didn't go!
What?
And now it's up to Kareem. Willow didn't go!
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
They're stealing!
Oh, it's doing the one thing it did for my game against Deuce that one time.
Now he's pre-charging. They're stealing again.
He's gonna
What is he
fumble this
doing?
one. Yeah, they fumble all the time with this one. Yeah, they can't.
That's
steal
going to
it.
be the game! Kareem walks it
my
off.
damn.
One of the hardest fought games of the season, ending in tragedy for the rookies as they fell 2 games below 500. For the Muscles, they were right back in the thick of things, restoring themselves to a 3-3 record with a bit of luck and a lot of effort. From daytime in the city to nighttime in the jungle, it's about time we kick off the first of 2 matchups between top 4 seeds in this top half of Week 3. For the Fireballs, this was a chance to prove they belonged atop the league standings, while the Flowers were hoping to solidify a spot in the upper echelon, potentially even claiming number 1 depending on the results of the Wilds game. You could tell the Flowers wanted it bad too. Daisy came out with the right level of effort, but just couldn't quite place the ball in the right spot. Green Toad and Wiggler meanwhile put down base hits for Petey. He, however, still couldn't seem to light a fire under himself, getting terrible contact yet again. He's lucky his first few games were so electric, because his recent performances haven't even looked all-star worthy. Starting Blooper at pitcher was proving the correct decision though. Even if there was no concrete third stringer to back up Daisy, the Squid was perfectly capable of handling things himself for a while, which he proved with the help of arguably the best shortstop in the league. The second was more of what we saw from the Flowers in the first, with 2 charge hits from Link and GDB just barely hitting the back wall instead of soaring over it. Yet again, however, one critical mistake from the team's dynamic duo put the offense at risk of leaving even more runs off the board. With BP's dive to dismiss Deuce, that fear was realized. To add insult to injury, it was the Fireballs to score first, despite their low-key offensive start. Purple Toad managed to push BP all the way to third, after which Peach brought him home. A perfectly timed earthquake on Toadsworth's hit afterward allowed for 2 more to score, and the Fireballs had staked their claim on this one. In fact, scratch what I said about Blooper earlier, because Daisy had to come in to stop the bleeding before the Squid could complete his 3rd inning. She gave up 1 more, but the run finally stopped there. Now it was a question of whether the Flowers could answer. With how our offense was playing though, I knew it was just a matter of time until something clicked. Between Daisy, Wiggler, and Green Toad all down in consecutive singles to load the bases, it looked like it might finally be time.
It doesn't mean anything when he's on wild. It's the Wiggler wild card.
It is the Wiggler wild card, and this is the Peter Repeater up to bat, who can get a grand slam. Ooh, but it chooses a star hit instead, which will at least bring 2 home.
He's thinking long term. Don't worry about him.
Considering his recent at-bats, I actually really liked that decision from the repeater. Blooper and Link went for a double play and a shallow slap respectively, but some answer is better than leaving a blank. Now the issue is whether the Fireballs could be stopped, and it truly didn't seem like it. They weren't satisfied with their lead being cut to 2, so they deployed yet another fireballing streak to score 1. Considering the bases were still loaded at this point with no outs, it's quite unlucky that Toadette's hit on Daisy's star pitch was ruled an elusive infield fly, and thus an out. It wasn't all bad for Murph's squad though, as Whammer somehow didn't catch this ball, allowing for 1 more to score before Daisy's star pitch finally worked as intended for what feels like the first time in forever. All it took was Petey acting as Whammer's bodyguard. Speaking of Whammer, he ripped a missile out to left to put runners on the corners in the 3rd, and Deuce did manage to score 1. Daisy tried to skip all the way to a tie game from there, but Toadette had other ideas. One uncharacteristic Green Toad play later, the Flowers had wrapped up yet another inning behind the Fireball's pace. Just when it was looking like we'd finally get our stop in the 4th, BP nuked 1 too, which really just made it feel like our best wasn't enough. Now, in the 5th inning, it takes some kind of spark.
If I see some work from Peter, I'll believe.
Hey, Wiggler Wildcard's doing his job.
However, right now you don't want a repeater, because if he repeats what he's been doing in the past, it would be pretty bad. What you want
What you want is a 2-shot homer.
It's the Peter heater.
You do, in fact, want a Peter heater. You want a Peter Heater Piss Missile Swamp Donkey, and that is about what you're about to get, because, yeah,
Look at
the
him
map
now.
just did not run. Okay, now we got a Hammer Bro who can cut the lead down to only down by 1, and he's gonna try. This might just be too high for Toadsworth. Oh,
Yep.
and it is!
Toadsworth was doing a little walk to it.
He's just too slow of an old man.
At last, Toadette made the kind of play in center field that only she can consistently make, finally putting a stop to the Flowers' run. Still, the Fireballs were finally feeling the pressure. Even with Link on the mound and the outfield chem ruined, a quick 3 up and 3 down meant the Flowers were back on the attack. Petey tried to live up to his nickname in the 6th, but Peter wasn't quite a repeater this time around. Instead, it fell to Blooper to keep the inning alive, which he just barely managed.
Way past it.
That was a really nice. I thought he was gonna get I thought he was gonna get out for that, but Hero of Dimes. Oh no!
The hero.
Oh yes!
Oh my goodness! Are the Flowers getting luck?
That's crazy.
That is a solid double. That is a solid 2 RBI double from the hero of dimes.
Mr. Murphy.
Oh my goodness, that's a tank from Hammer
No,
Bro.
they got it. They got it. They got it.
They do got it. They do got that.
Another bailout from Toadette, but she can only do so much. As they looked at the scoreboard to see themselves trailing for the first time, the Fireballs knew they needed a response. It just didn't materialize though, and the Flowers' 200% effort was beginning to shine through. Seeing loaded bases yet again, Petey opened up the Flowers' scoring in the 7th with a sac fly. The inning didn't end here though, far from it. To put it briefly, the other Flowers MVP candidate also saw loaded bases, and he was not so merciful.
Oh, and it's gone. That's a grand slam for Hammer Bro. There's no chemistry out there. It's too high anyway. But that is a monstrous home run.
Nanners.
And that'll seal the deal.
Bye-bye.
Thoroughly dispatched of, the Fireballs simply had to deal with falling from the top yet again. Whether they'd be back was fully in their control after all. To close out this front half of the week, let's take a look at the Spitballs and Wilds. For Deuce's team, the objective was simple: win and claim the 1 seed. Lose and give it up to the rival Flowers. They didn't quite seem to come out with an intensity befitting of that kind of situation though, allowing Darkbones to put the Spitballs up 2 on the second at-bat of the game. They kept playing angry and aggressive too, with Leo nearly putting one out over the walls. They even managed a brief 2-out rally to bring up Firebro with loaded bases, though he didn't get the contact he was hoping for. You might think that would be a wake-up call for the Wild's offense, but if so, it only worked on Britter. He went for a solo homer in the bottom of the inning, but nobody else did, well, anything really. He had to carry on the defensive side too, turning a double to help them escape with no further damage. Much like the Season 2 playoffs, it seemed Britter would have to be the one to handle business.
But Wario Stadium is named after the building next to it. Also, DK's gonna tie up the game here.
Okay, point taken. Given how Wild's games have tended to go this season, it shouldn't surprise you to learn that the middle chunk of this game was pretty silent and defensive, with double plays and snatched home runs abounding. In fact, we're going to skip straight to the 5th for our next few notable moments.
So many doubles. What is going on?
I don't know. It's all the arrow shots, really. You're starred. Red Critter, he's gonna tank this one. They're not getting that. That is way too high. It's still going up. Yeah. So
Wow.
another 2-run lead for the Spitballs. We'll see. The Wilds are going to try to chop this down over the next couple innings, just like the last one, but they only have a couple more innings left. Ever since Season 1, where they had the best offense in the league, they've been unable to match that. And another arrow shot for the Spitballs. They are making use of this stadium pick, and that's going to be an RBI triple for Millennia. If you give one up to Firebro here, you're looking at a potentially insurmountable lead. They will not, but Firebro will reach base, which is... wait. No, he won't.
A great look for the Spitballs, but we all know the Wilds are at their best when trailing. With 3 chances to make up this gap, I don't think anyone who pays attention to these games is counting them out. Starting with a routine Hugh single, Funky slap paired with a Diddy Kong boo to create the perfect storm. Real followed that with yet another RBI single, and the Wilds were within striking distance. All it'd take would be...
I'm now expecting a home run.
Yeah, for this pitcher alone, this one's going to be far out left. It's going to be a sac
I guess
fly.
it's sack.
A sac fly is better than nothing, but I'm sure he was kicking himself watching Fair hit into the ensuing double play to end their offensive. A defensive masterclass from some other faces on Team Brown Critter got them safely into the bottom of the 6th, but it was nothing doing. In the top of the 7th, the Spitballs would have one final chance to drive a stake into the Wild's hearts.
Funky's been one of the best third basemen in the league for all 3 seasons that he's been over there now.
Don't make worst match pick up your slack.
Well, I mean, he's not going to, so that's a quick 3-up, 3-out.
Not the end of the world for the Spitballs, but the chance for extra innings or a walk-off loomed.
It's either that or Millennia manages to clutch this one out. Is it a piss missile? It is, Human!
Oh! Hugh!
What a play from Hugh. He's been so quiet this season.
Well, now extras for Waluigi and company is the best possible outcome.
Now, absolute worst case scenario here is real triple plays. He also has the chance to crush this one into the gap and end the game. He'll slap. It's a triple play.
Out. Out. Out.
So that's going to be a triple play there, turned by Firebro and Red Critter.
My gift of prophecy aside, that Firebro play was all the momentum that the Spitballs needed going into extras. Well, except for the fact that DK led off with the reverse K on Millennia. The outfielders handled Firebro, and Real made up for like 5% of his previous mistake by changing the sides on Paragoomba's slap.
Wilds have another chance, and look who they have to back.
Oh, no, that's the death lineup.
And fair.
No disrespect intended, fair.
But it's crushed. Are they there?
Oh, no.
They got
They're
it.
there.
That is so clutch from MKLeo. This is down to the wire.
Add another inning to the tally. Let's see if either team can close it out in this one.
This is the literal halfway mark of the season. After this game, we'll be halfway. But I think this might be game of the season. No matter how this ends.
This is me versus Deuce, but low scoring first season.
What a play from Walu. It bounces right over the arrow, but he gets on base. Teal's not able to get under that one, but they are going to turn it out there. It's going to be a fielder's choice because of Walu. His bone's there. But
Oh, Ritter!
he's going to slap right to DK. Why
Ritter,
is
what are
that
you
the play?
doing?
Why is that the play? And he will. Crushed out to left. That's going to end the game. The Wilds are going to walk it off here in the bottom of the ninth. Human clutches up, ties the game, and then wins it in the bottom of the ninth. Crushing
He's gotta
defeat.
get MVP. He's got to get MVP.
Oh, absolutely.
A true test of the reigning champions' medal as they claimed the top seed at the halfway point of the season. On the other side of the coin, this was a heartbreaker for the Spitballs, who were really hoping to break into the upper echelon of the league. Speaking of the league standings, here's the full update. Only 2 teams are below 500, and the rookies still have a positive run differential in spite of it. All you really need to know from this one is that, believe it or not, the Knights are in some serious trouble. I hope you Spitballs fans out there have taken your time to grieve because it's time to get back up and at 'em. When you take the risk of choosing Nighttime Cruiser against a team with Bowser on it, there's no room for thinking about anything but what's right in front of you. The Spitballs put their focus on display early, putting their first 2 runners on the corners and seizing an early lead as MKLeo dropped the ball right in the middle of the defense. With Road to Bat and Ritter looming, the rookies needed to act fast before things got out of hand.
Maybe behind the Fireballs. That's going to be a triple play, though. Yep, easy triple play. Whoa.
That is nice to see. Okay, alright.
Absolutely.
No bias, by the way.
With a quick 3-up, 3-down, however, the rookies both put the Spitballs back on offense and robbed Bowser of the chance to have any base runners later. Fortunately for them, the Spitballs didn't have much better luck, with Red Madge hitting into a double play and Bowser Jr. notching a star-pitch strikeout on Millennia. That set the tone for the next while, both teams continuing to come up empty on offense. BDB finally brought the aggression for the rookies in the bottom of the third, charging with nefarious intentions.
Ooh, crushed up the middle. I don't think anyone's getting this. That'll be tie game off the home run from BDB. Yep. That's his first of the season. BDB finally homers. It's been a minute for him. You love to see it. I'm a big BDB fan, honestly.
Alright.
Boomerang Bro's gonna make it 2 in a row. That's gone.
That is gone. That is a home run right there from Boomerang Bro.
That's why he starred.
All of a sudden, the rookies had stolen that slight lead. If Bowser Jr. could just hold on the other end, they'd be set.
Hooks this one far out left. Darkbones doesn't even go. He was afraid it was caught.
Who is
Smart play from
Grand Slammer?
Darkbones, honestly.
Grand Slam, but oh no!
Oh no.
Oh,
this is looking
no.
devastating.
Yeah.
Devastating
Use
for
the star. Use the star. You need that star. And it doesn't even matter. That's a
doesn't
Grand
even matter.
Slam.
It doesn't even matter. That's out.
He might.
Dude.
That Grand Slam right there is going to put him back in the MVP conversations.
Dude,
Go ahead, Grand Slam. we're talking about Denny's having a sale when there's a oh wait, Paragoomba 2-shot home run. That's gone.
Okay, alright, yeah. Enough about Denise, dude. This is out. That's a 2-run home run right there.
Wow. Okay. Honestly, it's hard to blame AJ's squad for their subsequent failure to match that kind of outburst. BDB did give a good effort, but his was the only real chance they had before they had to face the red-hot Spitballs offense yet again. Bowser did pop a strikeout, and they did manage to gun Ritter out, but the Spitballs still brought in one more. Speaking of a red-hot offense, it's time we heard from Red Hot himself.
Rightfully deciding not to swing. This one's going to be pushed out right. It's going to bring red match home? He thought about it. Nope.
He thought about it.
Loaded bases for Paragoomba, and no, there's no way. There's no way, right?
Forced to the left side. I lied.
Oh! What a pow! Wait, they're still going to get him. Yeah.
A respectable save, but time was running out. Ordeal wasting some of it on a double play didn't help matters either. Time to turn to the defense once more.
Should be quite interesting.
Double strike. Bowser's being extremely careful.
It's
here.
another
And
strikeout
it
from
is
Bowser. Catches
strikeout.
him. Swing and a miss.
Despite serving as his next to last at-bat on the mound before tagging out for Ordeal, that set the tone for a strong stop. Junior had no issues putting one on base for Pops, but the big guy didn't get the kind of contact he was probably hoping for. Instead, they'd have to turn to Madge.
Crushed out left. Doesn't have enough. It does. Blue Madge with a 2-homer.
That is a 2-run home run.
Wow. Blue Madge said, fine, I'll do it myself.
Currently speechless.
That is the hit you want. He's just...
Ooh, that's going to get
Used
down.
to it.
That's an RBI there. So an RBI single.
All right.
Monty and Grey Guy couldn't cash in on the remaining 2 base runners, but this game was finally looking winnable. With Ordeal and the outfield keeping the Spitballs from so much as landing one hit, all they needed was another inning like the last.
And he does just that. That's going to be a 2-run homer.
That is a two-run homer right there. They just need one more.
And look who's
One
back.
more run inside the game.
Look who is back up to bat. Not you. You. For the rookies. Popped up right to Red Critter. It'll be down to Madeline to continue the chance here for the rookies. If you can hold her, you're looking great. If you can't, you have BDB and Boomerang Bro to face. It's popped right to Red Critter. No, he misses it! He'll slap. It may not decide everything. Not if he does that. Now this will decide everything. Boomerang Bro.
Oh, no.
Boomerang Bro with the star. Red Match has to
Bro
face
is
him
here.
tired. He crushes this one out back left. It's going to be a walk-off homer.
At least this time around, Red Hot would have to take a back seat to Midnight Blue. Now for our first rematch of the season. Y-Guy and the gang were hoping for a similar result to their last meeting with the Flowers, in which they claimed a 9-3 victory. On the other side, a revenge win here would put the Flowers in a great spot to continue our quest for a top 2 seed and a postseason bye. Yu Narukami was actually the first to notch an RBI in this one, scoring Dixie despite failing to beat the baseball to the bag himself. It took until the bottom of the second for my team to respond, but Link finally did with a rare dime from the hero of Climb. Lime, Crime, Slime, I don't know, he's got like 8 different nicknames. With no further statement to make and a whammer hit more reminiscent of his early games than his recent stretch, the door was open for the Bows to make some more noise.
You know, Kami up to bat, hoping for the RBI to get Dixie home. Straight down the middle.
Yep.
RBI.
Right to Yod. Ooh, that was a strong hit.
Ooh, all the way back. Hopes to get Flenzy.
Ooh.
Is this going to third or home? Flenzy gets home. This is Yoshi Park. Literally, this is anybody's game.
It's 4-1 now.
4-1.
Just the kind of outing the Bows were looking for, while the Flowers were in need of a response that just wouldn't come as Blooper got obliterated. Speaking of Blitter though, he ended his own team's attack by falling for a Daisy star pitch with no items on deck. I wish that kind of thing happened more often. A wham slam in the fourth brought us within 2, but that high wouldn't last long, as sobering reality set in immediately after. Now down 4, this game was looking more and more like our Week 1 matchup as it went on. Unlike the Wilds, Rookies, and Muscles, teams known for their potent comeback potential, my Flowers were known for being possibly the single most momentum-reliant team in the league, alongside the Spitballs and Fireballs. If we were going to get going, we'd have to get hot. At the very least, Wiggler and Petey reaching base set up for a couple quick RBI, as Blooper came up big and the hero of Grime almost cranked another. Dixie made a fantastic play on GDB's start to center, but the Flowers were hoping this was the opening we needed to take over. After holding the Bows in the 6th, it was looking possible.
Ooh.
Why not Bows? Outstanding.
That's not the kind of start you want from a player of his caliber. Deuce tried to swing for the fences as he'd been doing all season, but the Bows got there yet again. With a Daisy pop fly ending the inning, there'd be one more for the Bows to extend their lead or the Flowers to seize it. After that first objective fell through in a total of 4 pitches to 3 batters, everyone looked to Petey to potentially end it. Step 1 was a success, as Green Toad reached, but even Wiggler's high speed stat couldn't save him from the monstrosity of a ground ball he bonked into YP's glove. Still a chance to tie.
Right.
Ooh. And it's... Oh, the lucky break for the bow! Oh, for the flowers!
Not what we were hoping for, but not what we were afraid of either. Unfortunately, this put it all on bloop.
They just need to get Petey to... They just need to get Petey to home base to make it, for the next round.
Double play.
Oh!
And with that, the Bows swept the season series over the Flowers. A huge achievement for a team to never see the Sundown field. Whether this was indicative of a change of fate, we'll just have to see. Murphy already redeemed himself once for losing to Cyber last season, but Week 3 tossed him one more, and this one at home to boot. To their fans' dismay, however, their offense came up empty in the first. To make matters much, much worse, they became the poor defense who gave up Red Para's first hit of the season.
Red Paratrooper just got on base, by the way.
Oh no,
For the first time
dude.
ever.
We didn't even say anything about it. I would have cried if I had noticed it happening.
Doesn't matter, he's gone.
I'm mad, dude. I'm mad that can we not count it? It doesn't even matter. We can not count it, right?
In a poetic parallel to the Season 2 eggs, it'd be no more batting triple zeros thanks to the Fireballs, even if he immediately got doubled off. I wish that were the worst of it too. What should have been the end of an embarrassing but successful inning was instead the beginning of a rally, as a shell put Koopa the Killer on first. One Toadette blunder later, Green Para put the Knights in the lead. An eerily familiar sight. Murphy's squad got to work quickly in the bottom of the inning, loading the bases with only one out. Peach tied up the game, but a pitiful Toadette hit meant they wouldn't get anything more. In an absolute clincher of a mid-game, neither team could create any separation. We reached the fifth, still locked at ones. On a related but separate note, Red Para went 3 for 3 to this point. Speaking of Red Para, his league-leading throwing arm came up huge as he gunned Toadsworth out of home for the first out of the 5th inning. If that isn't a rare enough play to tickle your fancy, check out this next terribly unfortunate Fireball sequence.
I feel like they're brothers, even if they're not blood brothers. Into the plant, that's... yeah, no one knows what to do, so everyone's running all over the place. Pianta's gonna have to go back. Or he'll just keep going, okay. Red Pianta fears nothing. He thought he could hurdle him or something, dude.
If you can believe me, that actually wasn't all that bad. It gave Mario the idea to shoot for that leftmost plant again, which he did with precision to notch a 2 RBI double and claim the lead. BP and the Maverick in turn brought him around the base pass, though the former committed a bit of a running mistake to end the inning.
BP! Run, BP! They got him.
Now, the only way this gets funnier is if the Knights tie it back up.
It's easier to count.
Toadsworth. Speaking of errors, that's an RBI for... Is that Green Para? Yeah. Let's go, Green Para! He has 2 RBI in this game. Both RBI are
wow.
Green Para. Alright, Larry Homer and the getting Larry. Alright, well here's Luigi. He can tie up the game now. He's not going to charge though, because he never does.
No,
for some reason.
Luigi.
That's a good slap though. So now I think it's up to Green Madge to score Green Para here. Definitely doable. Ooh, BP's not tall enough.
Great hit!
Para didn't go at first, but he's still going to make it because Toadette's so light that the ball pushed her back.
For only getting 1 run against Cyber, if Murphy loses
No shot.
Oh my god.
RBI single because Luigi stole
The
there.
steal.
I was right, this is pretty funny. That said, to all my Cyber fans out there, I'm sorry to have gotten your hopes up. I'm not sure if they thought back on the loss last season or just needed time to figure something out, but the Fireballs exploded for 5 runs in the 6th to take a lead that proved steady through the final pitch. A bit turbulent, but ultimately a solid 5th win for the Fireballs, while the Knights seem to be inching closer to a potential win in their future. And hey, who knows? They're not mathematically eliminated yet, so we'll just have to see what they have in store. Now that we're in the realm of rematches, it's only fair we end off this chapter with another rematch of the Season 2 Finals. The Muscles are thus far the only team to fell the Wilds this season, and a loss like the one they suffered at Bridger's hands isn't the kind that's remedied by only one revenge game. They didn't look great out of the gate though, getting completely snuffed out by the Wilds defense. With Britter up early, they'd live to regret it too.
DK's a fine pitcher. I guess his star is broken. That one's gone.
I also think...
Now, you may recognize the batter following Britter. Deuce, unhappy with Fair's production through 6 games, decided to make the swap to Big Fella for this one, and fully reunite the championship squad.
He put so much heat on that Goomba bobbled it, dude. Welcome back, Big Fella. I missed him, man.
Despite their relatively poor offense in Season 3, the Wilds were making Jake's defense look like Swiss cheese, forcing Wario to pitch after Madge only managed to record 1 out. His taking over switched up the pace a little bit though, and the Muscles counted themselves lucky to still be hanging on the edge of Grand Slam range.
Yeah, I think Wario has like 4 homers, and Critter and K-Rool both have 6. Something like that. They have a lot of home runs. This team leads the league in home runs hit, and that's another one. Teal's gonna run over, but it's too late.
Stario's just too good.
They're just making fun of Tiny after I was just praising her. That's entirely Teal's fault. Tiny was in position.
Though that one run was the only one they'd put up, it's much better than getting shut out entirely. If this defense could force the Wilds back into the kind of slow burner we'd see them get stuck in several times already, 1 per inning was perfectly acceptable.
Shot. Yeah, they're getting that. They're getting that. It's coming down. Never mind. Okay, sure. Why not?
What? What?
I don't know. Look at K-Rool. K-Rool was mad confused too. He was scratching his head.
And so much for that. Luckily for the Muscles, Willow was able to make a jumping play on Britter to escape, but the Wilds were proud to see their lead replenished to 4. A quick 2 outs seemed to discourage a comeback effort in the third, but Madge and Willow both pulled out some tricks to get a rally going into the death lineup. Following up with a nasty arrow shot was Wario, making it loaded bases.
Okay.
Yeah, no DK.
Okay. Okay, did he smart? Did he smart?
Tanked up the middle. This is a grand slam. This is a grand slam. Tie game.
It very well is. It very well is.
Well, there's Critter with a grand slam. I didn't even realize the bases were getting loaded, but there it is. I mean, bad commentary from me, I guess. I should be locked in, but...
We've got a ball game. K-Rool tried to seize a lead too, but Teal and Hugh just barely managed to get the height necessary to preserve the tie. Now needing to try again, DK shipped a line drive out to right, which made for a double when combined with the POW. This look in turn scored 1 run as Real brought in Big Fella, but Hugh hitting it to a double meant it was wraps for now. 2 full empty innings later, forgive the sloppy time skip, K-Rool drilled his get back to left as a manhole wiped out any chance of a buddy jump. At this point, DK decided it was time to unload the clip. He got Kareem with 1, then almost messed up on his second.
Does?
Koopa the quick no!
Wait, it's an error from DK!
DK, what are you doing, DK?
Big Fella fills in. If that shell had hit Real, there might have been danger on the base pass.
And the Goom Bomb didn't really stand a chance against Britter this time. Tragically for the Wilds, yet another double play all but wiped out their own chance to take a lead into the 7th. Koopa and Kareem expertly converging. Another star pitch trap led off the 7th, and Madge didn't have much better luck. With 1 more out to risk, it all fell to Willow.
It's Madge.
You need Willow to get on base here. It's your last chance to score runs. Nah, that's not looking good. Oh, the shell! Does Willow have enough to make it? She's safe!
Oh!
Nobody filled in for Real in time. Big Fella wasn't there. Now Wario has a chance. He could even star if he wants to. I don't know if it would score, but... Oh, he's just gonna slap right to Big Fella. Okay, well, nice one, Wario.
What are you cooking, Wario?
Despite their hot start, the late-game Wilds offense looked a lot like the mediocrity they'd performed most of the season, which meant their defense would have to hold in extras yet again.
Wow.
Here we go. Extra innings, 6-6, nighttime Wario City. We've seen this before. Last time the Muscles clutched... sorry, not the Muscles. Last time the Wilds clutched it out with the help of Hugh Man. This time, they may not be so lucky.
The Wilds were going...
No jump from
so
Funky.
Crazy.
No jump from Funky.
And now nothing is happening. It's been all defense.
Did they score all their runs in that? No, they didn't. They scored 2 runs in like the 2nd, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, that worked?
Yo, he's fat. He's fat. He's not gonna make it.
Kareem also has a walk-off this season. He can't walk it off. Oh, no.
I'm Kareem.
The outfield is cooked. That's the center fielder. No more outfield at all. You have to hold and end it now, or else you are in danger if you're the Wilds.
Oh, he should have charged.
Koopa
who's up?
Koopa the Quick.
Koopa the Quick.
He has a chance to make his first big offensive play of his career, and he does.
Wow.
Koopa the Quick might have just thrown the dagger.
Step 1 failed. 1 run separating the Wilds, and yet another regular season series loss to the Muscles.
Yeah.
All right.
Bad son.
You need DK. You need DK. This is your last real chance before you get into Tiny in the knees.
Wakey, wakey.
Not quite.
Oh.
Not quite. But it's still okay. You just need... Tiny can't double. Teal can't double. Hugh can't double. And no 2 of them can get out. You need Tiny to charge again. You'd like Tiny to charge again. You don't need her to. That's going to be the game. Wait, DK's running back. He's not going to make it in time. The Muscles are going to clutch it out by 1 run, and the Fireballs will secure the 1 seed, I believe. Depending on run differentials, I don't know. It might be closer than I think, but The Muscles are going to clutch it out in extra innings. 7-6, they avenge the Spitballs, who lost in the exact same score in extras last game. Critter's going to claim the MVP with that Grand Slam, for sure. Great stuff to him and the Muscles. Season 1 vintage performance. He finally got his revenge on DK for taking that MVP away from him. 110 for Critter. That's going to do it for us here in Week 3. We'll see you in Rivalry Week.
And with that, Critter claimed both the game MVP and a stunning victory over a bitter enemy. With 7 of 12 games now behind us, it's safe to say we're making blazing fast progress through this thing. Here's a quick standings update. The MRC teams gathering toward the middle and taking 4 of the top 5 spots, as the lower 2 made upsets on the higher 2. That movement pattern meant Murphy's gang would reclaim the top spot for now, though there's no telling how long that might last. Who are the favorites in the most competitive regular season race yet? Is anyone safe? All this and more as we jump into a special on Rivalry Week and the ensuing All-Star break next time. See you in a week or so.